Welcome to this week's Third Party Thursday. My name is Kay Perry, and I'm the Senior Operations Manager here at VinMinder. Today we're going to talk about third-party due diligence, what you need to know, and what your due diligence checklist should contain. Due diligence is a science and an art, and by that I mean that there are times when not everything will be available and you will have to get creative. But let's think about the basic aspects of due diligence. First, it should be risk-based and reasonable. For example, if one of your service providers is the guy who mows the lawn, you obviously aren't going to ask him for an SSA 16 report. Well, you could, but the response likely would not be appropriate for repeating. The request list and the nature of the item should match the service provider. One element of due diligence may lead you to ask for another. For example, if you're looking for a call center's compliance policy and they refer to training material, you're likely going to need those as well. The due diligence should be done pre-contract, at least as much as possible. That means well before the contract, not in a frantic effort to get things done to hit a supposed contract date. There will be times that you cannot complete due diligence prior to the contract. Some items you may even have to contractually oblige them to provide, but make sure you document it and commit them to provide as soon as reasonably possible. A few examples are things like evidence of audits, financials, and customer records. It's understandable that they want to hold on to them, but at the same time, if you need them, make sure the contract provides you the avenue to obtain them. Due diligence must be timely. This is a common pitfall that we turned into a best practice. One of the things that is easy to get stale dated is the financial reports. If you simply lock due diligence on a particular month on the calendar, you could be looking at financials that are a year old. So in my experience, we changed and set it up so that it initiated the due diligence cycle 90 days after their fiscal year end. That way, we would always have the most up-to-date information. There may be times that it's hard from a workload standpoint, especially if there are hundreds or even thousands of third parties to review. But we tried to get financials as timely as possible, and it paid off several times. Due diligence must be thorough. It's easy to cut corners, but that can lead to ugly surprises, particularly if you follow a checklist mentally and just obtain the documents without adequately reviewing them. Due diligence must be ongoing. This became an actual requirement in 2013 when the OCC issued its updated guidance, but has always been a best practice. This doesn't mean everything has to be constantly updated, but it should be tracked so major documents and major milestones are not missed. If you need more information, we certainly can offer vendor vetting packages that include some of the essential elements that you should consider with every third party, from articles of incorporation to reputational risk checks to a Secretary of State check and several other fundamental items. So to recap, your due diligence should be risk-based and reasonable. The request list and the nature of the items match the service that is provided. And due diligence should be done pre-contract and should be timely, thorough, and ongoing. Again, I'm Kate, and I thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Third Party Thursday series.